Hello and welcome, friends. I hope everybody's having a great day so far. If you are new here, welcome, and I hope you'll consider hitting that subscribe button and sticking around. And if you're back, welcome back. I greatly appreciate all of the ongoing support. This is my channel, Dragon Steel Creative Gems, and I'm Tegan. And today we're going to work on a whip and chat, or whipperoo. Apparently I'm trying to wix my words. We're going to work on a whip and chat. And that just means, for those of you who haven't been to one or know what that means, WIP just stands for work in progress, and chat is just me chatting. And what I do is I catch everybody up on my 2 weeks. And today I'm going to be working on one of the paint gem minis here that I have from the Ocean Edition, and this one is of a little jellyfish. I thought this one would be a fun one to work on. I only have, like, I don't know, maybe a couple more to do. But I figured I'd work on this. I'm going to be using my DP Gals tray and brand new DP Gals pen that I have here with a single placer, which I have a glue dot in, a 5-placer, multi-placer with Randa's Crafty Corner putty in it. My other one, which I probably won't need as much, but I have out just in case, is my other pen from DP Gals that I've been taking for a little whirl. This one happens to have an 8-placer in it with some putty, and then just a straightener. So that's kind of if I have more of an area for large color blocking, which some of them have had the odd spot that goes up that high, but most of them don't. I'll usually use my 8 for like a 6 to 8. Sometimes the odd, if it's in my hand and handy, I'll do it for a little less. Basically, those are my tools that I use. So let's get my first color going here. And we'll start catching up. So my 2 weeks that, what the heck, we'll just get all the YouTube-y stuff over with before I dive right in. So make sure you like this video, hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Any comments below are greatly appreciated. All of that helps the YouTube, see, I apparently cannot speak tonight, YouTube algorithm. So yeah, make sure you do all that good stuff, and I always love reading comments, and I do my best to work on those, read those. Oh my goodness, this is going to be one of those nights. Okay, anyways, let's try this. I don't even know where I was going with all that anymore. It's been a day. A day looking after my son. Anyways, let's get on track here. My 2 weeks cover from like June 16th to today, which is the 28th. Yes, it's a Wednesday, and normally these come out on a Friday. I've had to get, normally I like to film these on a Thursday, and I would do that when my son was at school, but obviously the school season is over, and my hubby is working a shutdown right now, so he's actually working 6 days on, 1 off. So I've had to get a little creative with filming this. So it's actually Wednesday night. He's just got home. We've had our dinner. And he's looking after that crazy kid of ours. So that I can get this filmed and have time to edit and get it out for everybody on Friday. So just so you know, it's, what time is it? Almost 6 p.m. at night here. I don't have my coffee because it's the evening, but I do have my glass of water. So I usually try to go for as close to kind of that hour-ish as I can get without rambling on and on and on about nonsense and catching everybody up and all that. Sometimes it goes shorter, sometimes it goes quite a bit shorter unexpectedly, but most of the time I get pretty close to that mark. So my week, I think last time I had updated you saying that that weekend, this weekend of the 16th, we were going to be attending a fundraising event for our local children's hospital called the Stollery. They had a fundraising event called Racing for the Cure, and that was specifically for the sick kids in their in that hospital that deal with cancer specifically. They see obviously kids with all sorts of illnesses. As my son gets followed up by them regularly in their outpatient clinic for his home nutrition and G2 feedings, and he obviously has undergone surgeries with their surgeons for his past trachea, and so we've had lots of experience with them. They're an amazing children's hospital that actually see not only just kids in the local area, but throughout all of Alberta, and even sometimes outside of Alberta. So they're a very, very important children's hospital. They have a lot of expertise. So they were fundraising for the cancer side, and that's why they called it Racing for a Cure, because everything that they're fundraising not only goes to the Stollery, but towards the cancer side of things. And so they were set up outside of our River Creek Casino on the grounds there, and they had set up a VIP experience and just a regular experience for people to come and enjoy. They kind of had like a kids area with a bunch of bouncy castles, and they had an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. vehicle there and a stationary helicopter that you could kind of take pictures with, and so that was lots of fun. Lots of other kind of things that you could check out. There were 2 food trucks on site, so if you get a little hungry, you could get 2 or 3 food trucks on site. So if you're hungry, you can get a little nibble in, or if you needed a beverage, you can get a beverage. So they had all of that going. Your regular people could come check out, find out, make donations towards the cause, stuff like that. And then they had a bunch of exotic sports cars that they had assigned drivers to them and everything. And as a person attending the event, you could pay $50 and get a ride in one if you wanted. And of course all of that would go towards the cause. And so that was kind of for the main person just kind of showing up and checking out the event. But they were looking for actual Stollery families to sign up, and they were giving them a VIP experience. So my husband had signed us up for that. And so that was just a little bit different for us. I gave our son a t-shirt, a hat that he could wear on the day of or whatever, that had the Racing for a Cure logo and all that on it. And it also gave him a pass to ride in those in an exotic sports car as many times as he wanted to go. And it also gave a free helicopter ride, which they weren't doing those for the public. That was just for VIP. And that was because there's only so much time. Helicopters, obviously, they would take a little bit of a longer up in the air and landing time and all that, and so they weren't, and there was less of them than there were exotic sports cars on site. So they really just kept those for the VIP people. So I think originally we had gotten there, we had got registered, we got our passes, our son got his t-shirt and the hat, which of course he wore right away. We were in the lineup. We figured we'd try the helicopter first, so we were in that lineup, but then the helicopters were taking a little bit more to kind of get going in the morning once they opened up, and they still had room over in the exotic sports cars. So they were kind of asking people to kind of shift over to the other line if possible, just so that they could fill up the sports cars and get them going for the day. And so we figured out what the heck. They had kind of all started up, and my husband had put our son up on his shoulders, and he was already kind of checking that out and getting all excited and bouncing on him and all of that, just checking out the cars and pointing them all out. So we figured, oh, what the heck, we'll switch over and we'll get our ride in a vehicle. You don't get a choice on vehicles, obviously, as they had some where they could only take one passenger, and those were like your Lamborghini, where it was literally just driver and one passenger. So if you had a kiddo that needed to have a family member or wanted a family member there, they obviously had to look for one of the sports cars that could handle the size of the family and the kid going. So we ended up looking for a 3-seater one, because we knew for sure that my son would want at least one of us there with him. And so we ended up getting placed in a Bentley, like the old, not the old, like the newer James Bond style Bentley. Very, very nice ride. Back seat, of course, is where me and the hubby sat, and we put our kiddo up in a booster in the front and let him kind of have the experience. He was absolutely thrilled that he was getting to sit in this car. And then the driver was really, really nice. He actually showed our son how to start the Bentley with the button and switch it over into sports mode and little things like that, which he, of course, had a blast with that. And when you switched it over to sports mode, it, of course, would rev up, which got our son really excited. And then what they do from there is they exited the parking lot, and you'd actually go for like a, they had a loop that they kind of followed out onto the Henday and in around the West End area of the city, because that's where it was taking place. That ended up probably being a good, probably 20+ minute loop by the time you kind of did that. And they, of course, as much as possible, tried to stay with the group. So they would do a bunch of kind of revs and gearing up to catch up to the vehicles in front of them. We had a Corvette that was in front of us, so that's who my son got to kind of see the back of, was this Corvette in front of us, and he got the little ride in the Bentley. And every time he sped from up to catch up kind of thing, my son had the biggest grin possible spread onto his face. He just loved that. Anytime that he kind of got that kick forward motion and kind of pinned to the back of the seat with the big loud engine noises. And so then we kind of went out onto the Henday, did a little bit of a loop there, came back into a couple of neighborhoods in around the West End area, did a couple like little traffic circles in some of the areas, and it was really, really neat to see people's reactions, because you could see a couple of them were kind of taking photos at the stoplights if they saw us, or around the traffic circle. One of the traffic circles there was, oh, I bumped my light. There was a couple construction workers that were working like a block away from that, and so they all kind of stopped working and were just kind of standing in a line watching for a while there. Some of them were videoing or taking pictures, and so it was kind of fun. kind of being paraded around in this convoy of exotic sports cars. It was a very, very smooth ride, and even though me and my husband were in back seats, which were cramped, they were quite comfortable. And really it was all about my son having kind of a fun, unique experience. And so he loved that. I don't think he was ready to get out when we got back to the casino. But he willingly got out of the vehicle without too much of a fuss and said goodbye to the driver. And then of course we had to go wait in the helicopter line. So I think we stood there. My husband snuck in a feed because it was about feed time by the time we got back from all of that. And then my parents had showed up, and they were checking out the event, and our son started getting a little bit antsy standing in line, so they kind of took him over to the bouncy castles and stuff a couple of times just to kind of get him moving, and that so that we could kind of keep our spot in line and not lose it and have to come back and try again, that sort of thing. So eventually we did get to go on the helicopter. It was just a much, much longer wait because all the people that were there, they only had 2 helicopters that were taking off and landing, and then of course they had to gas up at one point and all that, and for those only one family at a time were fitting on them. So it took a little bit longer to wait, but we did get on, and we of course once again let our son get in the front seat to enjoy the experience a little bit more, and he sat up front with the pilot, put on his headphones. Wasn't quite sure what was going on at this point, and was very concerned that I guess we were going to leave him in the helicopter a bit, so he was keeping a very close eye on us. But once we kind of hopped in the back on either side behind him, he kind of settled in and was just kind of looking around trying to figure out what this experience was going to be. And then of course we took off, and as the helicopter was lifting up, I'm pretty sure his eyes got bigger. He was quite enthralled and not enchanted, enthralled and kind of very focused on, oh, was that out of view that whole time? Sorry guys. He was very focused on that and what was happening. He was not scared or anything, all that. He was just very, very captivated. And if his mouth could hang open the entire time, I'm pretty sure it was. But he seemed to enjoy it, and our pilot was kind enough to fly us over our house, so because we were close enough. I think our helicopter ride was maybe like, I don't know, half hour, about roughly, and not that you get very far in the helicopter because it's a lot slower than an exotic sports car. But yeah, it was probably about that same length of time roughly, just going not as far and not as quick. So there wasn't the big grin, but there was definitely a fascination with it, and he just sat the entire time just enchanted and enthralled with what was going on. And like I said, if his mouth could hang open, I'm pretty sure it was. So I think he really enjoyed that day. I know we had fun, for sure. And hoping that, he's at a good enough age now that he'll remember it at least a bit. He seemed to kind of recognize it from 2 years ago when he went, but he wasn't VIP then. He just enjoyed the public side of things, so he only got to watch the cars at that point. But But yeah, he seemed to really enjoy himself, and then of course after all of that he got to go over to his nanny and papa's, which is his grandparents, my parents, and have his sleepover that he gets. And so he, by the sounds of it, crashed pretty hard that night, fell asleep right away without much of a fuss. So he was likely very tired and from his exciting day. So that was his Racing for the Cure VIP experience. Definitely a lucky kid who got spoiled that day. Sunday was just kind of our regular doing whatever just kind of day. And then our week was fairly normal. He still had a week of school, so he went through his last week of school, and it seemed like he was bringing something home every day, whether it was like a little goodie or snack or something, it seemed. But yeah, and then the 22nd was his actual last day of school, which was the Thursday, because he was in a Monday through Thursday programming. So Thursday, the 22nd, was his last official day in kindergarten. He graduated kindergarten and is officially on his summer break now. So I haven't had much time to myself since he's been off since then. But that last day of school, he had his OT, who does food play with him, and we're working on his oral feeds and getting used to textures and stuff in his mouth. He had his appointment with her after school that day. So we did that. She hadn't seen him in a while because we were with an OTA assistant that we had been hoping. She was supposed to be showing up twice a month and working a little bit more closely with us on feeds, and we were hoping that was going to be successful and allow him more practice, but unfortunately she was sick frequently and having surgeries, and it just wasn't working for us, so we had to switch back to our normal OT and doing it once a month through specialized services, which is fine, but we figured it would be more consistent for our son that way. And so yeah, we advocated obviously for that change. So that was her first time back, so she'd only heard of the progress, so she actually got to see a little bit of it. Was quite happy. Kind of gave us the next steps going forward. Talked about the service plan and where we're at and where we want to be at. That sort of idea. So we had that with him on the Thursday, and then the Friday we had his new speech person come. We were having some issues with his original one that got assigned, and we had brought up our concerns and asked to actually have him switched out completely because of them. It was something that was making our family uncomfortable, and it was actually something that was making our family a little bit uncomfortable and wasn't working for us, and it was causing more stress than help, and so we asked them to switch. So we had our new person come out. She got to meet our son and kind of find out what the other one had tried, what worked, what didn't work, kind of what we were hoping to see, that kind of thing, and reevaluating a plan for our son under her guidance kind of thing. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, she seemed nice enough, and our son took to her right away, and the supervisor was there, and they kind of talked about kind of what they want to work on, what's kind of the best going forward for where he's at. They kind of did like a reassessment on him, that sort of thing. So we'll see how that goes. We'll know, obviously, in a couple of sessions. That's the word I'm looking for. So we'll get a better idea in a couple of sessions how she works out, hopefully. But yeah, that's really all I can say. We've got all that happening. Obviously, over the summer, that'll continue. We had our 9-month follow-up for all of that, and it's likely that we're going to get another year of service at the very least, which is always a good thing. And that kind of started off, I guess, our summer. And then the following weekend that just happened, my hubby's birthday was on the 25th. Which was a Sunday, but given that was his day off, and my stepdad, being one of the few people left in town for it, had a golf tournament on the Sunday, we decided to celebrate on the Saturday night after the hubby got home. And it was just me, my hubby, our son, and my stepdad. So kind of a small gathering than what we normally do for birthdays, but just as nice. On the Saturday night we went out, or the Saturday I guess, I should start there. My hubby obviously still worked, and it was just me and my son at home. We had decided to pop over and go visit with my stepdad during the day. So we did that. I had, I think, one morning coffee, let my stepdad kind of wake up, get himself going for the day, that sort of thing too, and then we popped over for a visit. We loaded up the kiddo into the car, and we went over and set him loose in the backyard there so he could play and have fun. So he ran around in the backyard for a bit, and me and my stepdad were chatting away, and then we decided that we were gonna go and try to see if we could get any sort of shopping done for my hubby for his birthday, since we were celebrating it that evening together. And so we decided to pop over to the mall. After stopping at one of the computer stores, local computer stores, we went over to the mall and just kind of walked around. I tried to look for a gift there, but my son was just very go, 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 go. I'm on the loose in a big open space. I don't want to stand still for more than a second kind of thing, so made it kind of difficult to look at things for any length of time. So we just kind of ended up more so walking the mall and peeking at things when I could. He had like my stepdad by the hand and that sort of thing. So I mean, it was a little bit of a an outing for him anyways. He was happy to be loose in all that space. So we let him kind of walk it, and he was either dragging my stepdad by the hand all over the place or me by the hand all over the place. And my stepdad was telling me about, there's this one store, it's kind of part antique-y, part not. It's got a bunch of antiques in it, but then it's also got tarot cards and stuff like that. It's kind of some other items that are definitely not antique items, but are sold there. And so he was telling me about this store. He had, I guess, one day he was bored and just decided to take off and do his own thing. He does that sometimes, where he's just like, I want out of the house, I'm gonna wander around. So it was, I guess, one of those days, and he discovered within the store, at the very, very back, they have a what they call an antique horror museum. And so he was showing me some video that he had taken of. And when he showed me this video, he had gotten so up and close I thought they were actual life-size things. And he's like, do you want to go check it out? And of course I go, sure. So he showed me where the store was, because I didn't even realize the store was here, or that particular kind of backroom thing was there. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'm definitely curious. Let's go check it out. So he brought me to the store and showed me where the thing was. I weren't sure if my son was going to go back or not, but he took one peek back there and went, nope. So my stepdad took his hand and they looked at some of the cases just outside of that room while I kind of went and peeked around it. It was not life-sized items. They were actually all on little shelves and in cases kind of thing of little statues and figurines. It was still really cool, and it was all kind of from your classic horror films or movies, and some of them were gory and some weren't. But they had everything from like zombies to vampires. They had the Bride, Frankenstein in like a little science lab, miniature like diorama kind of setup idea. Still really, really, really cool. So of course I poked through all of that, and then they had another little spot which was all just creepy dolls that you would see in like a horror film where they come to life and that kind of thing. And so that was kind of neat to check out. So I did that while my stepdad kept my son busy because he didn't want to actually go back there, which is fine. We weren't sure if he would or not, if it would be too scary or if he wouldn't care, because sometimes stuff like that he could care less about. He's just like, I want to be back here checking things out with you. So we did that and then continued to walk around the mall. My stepdad was able to obviously get his gift for the hubby, but my son wouldn't let me. So I ended up having to shop online and have it delivered on the day of his birthday instead. Which is fine, it still worked. He still got a gift. No biggie. Just, heaven forbid mom do anything that's helpful. And what else? That was pretty much our day. Then we went back to my parents' place so that I could feed my son again, because he was due for another feed. We follow a schedule, so every couple of hours he's due for a G2 feed. And we have to do so many of those in a day, so to kind of keep on track and on time as much as we could, I had to go back so I could do that. Not that I couldn't have taken it all on the go and done it, I could have. But sometimes that's just harder for him to sit still during when you're out and about. Unless there's like a natural break kind of happening already. So in this case it was just easier to kind of head back. We did that, I did the feed, let him loose in the yard for a bit more and had a nice little chit chat. And then I think by the time all that was said and done, we headed back home about, I want to say somewhere around like 12:31-ish. And kind of let my stepdad have some of his day without the crazy little guy. And so we headed back home, and then that allowed him to kind of wind down from everything too. And then I got him down for a little bit of a nap so that he wasn't too cranky when we went out for dinner that evening. So we ended up going for dinner, and we went to one of our favorite spots, home fire grill. I may have mentioned them before, I'm not sure. They're probably one of our go-to restaurants right now here on the West End, and they serve some game meats, some regular dishes and stuff, but we love going there for their bison dishes. They have a couple of different ones. This time I went for the bison stew, which has, of course, bison in it, and then some root vegetables and stuff like that to kind of bulk it up, and then it comes with some kind of those root vegetables on the side as well, and some mashed potatoes to kind of help fill you up, and a little slice of bannock with maple butter that you of course spread on it on yourself, so you can put as little on as you want or as much on as you want, or you don't even have to put any on if you don't like it. But it's one of their kind of specialty items that they have there, and another reason why I love going there. I love just the combination of their bannock with the maple butter spread. It's just really nice. So that's the meal I had. I think my hubby had the bison burger. My stepdad did the stew as well. And then my son, we just kind of got a plate and put a couple of tastes onto his plate for him to try. Because, of course, he doesn't actually fully eat anything. But he still likes to kind of have and sample and try what we do. So we put some tastes on his plate and did the little birthday deal there, which was nice. It was lovely. It was a nice kind of just evening out with everybody and chit-chatting, and my hubby opened the gift from my stepdad. So it was not, like I said, not huge, but it was nice. And it of course got us, all of us, out of the house, because my mom's away out east at her cottage right now. My stepdad is going to join her later, but she's out there for like a whole bunch of time, so he's not going out till closer to the end. And just, I think at the end of next month, I think, is when he's going out for a good couple of days to join her. So I mean, she's out there for quite a while, so he's kind of kicking back at home, doing his thing, relaxing. So it was kind of nice. He didn't have to worry about dinner by himself or anything like that. He kind of had us and had the day with us, and so I think that was probably nice for him too. Kind of change of pace. Not that he minds booting around by himself. He's very used to that and doesn't mind that at all. But yeah, so that was our last weekend that all that was going on. This week has been sorry, itchy nose. This week has been just getting some things done, phone calls made, and going and picking up things, doing a couple little errands here and there, kind of keeping stuff organized, it seems. Yeah, so not really much beyond all of that. I obviously haven't had much time to diamond paint with the little man being home. I tried to do it the one day out in the living room while he has had a feed, and obviously he's watched me diamond paint too many times. I had been working on one of these small little canvases, and I had finished it, got up, let him out of his chair from his feed, and he stole my spot and picked up my, I had obviously finished it, so my tray was empty, and he had picked up my spot and stole one of my pens, and he was kind of putting the pen to the canvas, pretending like he was diamond painting like what I do. And so I snapped a couple of pictures of that, and I did share it on my community page because I just thought it was too cute not to. He thought he was helping me, even though the image was obviously finished. But that inspired me to get some art dot stickers, so I will have an unboxing of those because I'm hoping to unbox those in a quick video before I pull them out for him to attempt. But I figured that would be a perfect thing for him to attempt. I'm not sure he'll stay focused long enough to finish his sticker, but as it's art dot, it was on sale for 50% off at the time, made them super reasonable. And so if he spills the drills, misplaces any, puts them wonky on the canvas, turns them upside down or something goofy like that, loses all interest, it's not a huge deal, and it won't be on one of my more expensive premium canvases. And so I figured that would be a good thing to try, have fun, we'll see. It could go one of two ways. I could either completely end up disastering as a disaster and have me questioning what the heck I was thinking, or it'll go just fine and I'll be pleasantly surprised and he'll do a kid's job, but he'll work on a sticker and he'll enjoy it, and it won't be as disastrous as I'm thinking it's going to be. So yeah, those are one of the two ways. I'll of course update everybody when we do that and how it goes. Maybe I'll even show our finished stickers or something, just for fun. Do a little review on them. But that was something I figured would be fun. I was kind of already looking at the stickers as something just to kind of unbox and share, because they're just a blank sticker and you choose your own colors, which I thought would be fun anyway for myself. But since he kind of seemed like he wanted to try and have fun with it, I thought maybe why not give it a try. I mean, like I said, it could be a complete disaster and have me questioning what the heck I was thinking, which is okay too. That's probably realistically more the way it'll go. But it'll still be fun. And I'm sure he'll have fun with it regardless of what he does with it. Whether he throws a bunch of it around and doesn't get anything done, or actually focuses on it a little bit. We'll see. But yeah, I think that's really about it. So I'll have that, which I'll do an unboxing for. I have so many things filmed and wanting to come out. I had posted a bunch of daily videos this week with the Indigenous collection canvases. Tomorrow, which will be the Thursday, my post review from my Something Fishy comes out, and then you guys will see this WIP and chat. So that'll be good. And then that'll be this week's videos, and then I've got to get next week's videos. I've got some more crafty kind of things come out. There's of course lots of good diamond canvas videos to come out. I'm still waiting on diamond paintings to come into the mail, so those are definitely going to be more videos with unboxings for diamond paintings. There will of course be what I'm able to finish over these summer months while my hubby's working mad hours. They just probably won't be coming out as frequently. As you can see here, I am working on the Ocean Edition for Paint Gem, and I have a bunch of them finished, but what I'm planning on doing is finishing them all and then sharing it as one big post review. So there will be that, but of course these are all smaller ones. They're still taking me a while to work on because I'm lucky if I get one done in a day kind of thing right now, which for me is very minimal. This is even smaller than some of the sections I work on an actual diamond painting canvas, so the fact that I only get one done a day maybe is a huge difference in time. But yeah, I'll get there eventually. You'll still see some post reviews. They just might be slow. All that good stuff. You're going to see more and more crafty stuff, I think, as I'm starting to get some supplies for things I want to try coming in, and then obviously I'm going to share some of those results and maybe even some of the processes behind them if I can, or my process behind the whole thing if I can. All that good stuff. So yeah, definitely keep your eyes peeled for that kind of thing. And I think that is really about it. I will, I think, end the video here. I've pretty much been going for my usual allotted time. And as you can see, I haven't even completed this canvas yet. But that is life. That is life right now. It's busy, it's busy, it's busy. But there's not much more I can add. I'm just kind of, I guess I get back into different crafts, so you'll probably hopefully see some of that. And coming in, I'll still of course keep as much diamond painting stuff in the works as I can throughout the summer. That's not going to disappear from the channel at all just because I'm doing other crafty things. This is still kind of my passion and all of that, so you'll definitely still see unboxings, still see post reviews, still see all of that. I'm not changing, not getting rid of it. I'll still be doing my WIP and chats, all that good stuff. I think at this point I'll probably just start talking in circles. So I'm going to let you go here, and I will see everybody in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.